My name is Bill Borland. I was the athletic director with the Urbana City Schools for 22 years. I'm now retired, and I substitute teach here at the high school and the junior high.
Hi, my name is Linda Locke. I'm principal at South Elementary, and I have been at South Elementary in Urbana since February of 1998.
My name is Doug Crable, and I was a member of the Facility Planning Committee that met earlier this year and assisted in developing a master facility plan for Urbana City Schools. I know for me, when I started the process, I certainly had some thoughts about how things could be, and I know by the end of the process, what I initially thought wasn't what I thought at the end. So I think it was certainly educational for me and helped me to move forward in my thoughts of what we could have as a district. And I guess the whole process kind of was an evolution and learning more about what the state will fund, what the state will pay for, the condition of our existing facilities, whether it be accessibility or safety or just a multitude of issues that some of the facilities have. So it certainly helped me to kind of reframe my viewpoint, and I really believe that the facility plan that was put forward is probably the best plan we could have come up with.
Just today, we had a problem with a toilet that fell apart, and when the guys came to fix it, they said it was so old and so deteriorated that they weren't really sure how they were going to fix the problem. This is actually the second one this year since the school year started. It is of concern that so many things are falling apart, and our district does a wonderful job with upkeep and maintenance, and we have a fantastic custodial staff. But the reality is that our children do not have the same opportunities as other children around the state do with their newer facilities.
This past year, we've locked the doors, and we have a system where you have to push a button to get into the buildings. But at the high school and the junior high, that's impossible to secure all the doors. In between classes, anyone could walk into many of the other doors within the buildings.
Having attended the school in 1996 through 2000 up on the hill, I guess I thought that the buildings were more easily able to be reused, and after touring the buildings as part of the committee, I realized that from an accessibility standpoint, how hard they were to retrofit and make useful for the future. And I remember the architect had done a brief study of the number of level changes in the building, and I believe it was 20 plus that would have to be overcome in order to make the building accessible. So for me, that helped to move me along in the process of not necessarily renovating some of the space that we had, but actually looking at replacing space.
We have no space for meetings. My guidance counselor does not have an office space. He's sometimes in the music room, sometimes in the library. We don't have places for parents to come in and have private conversations. So there's a lot of things that are missing in our buildings that a newer facility would certainly help. The busing situation, we do a fantastic job of making sure that all of our children are safe and get where they need to be. But it's a very complex system, and it takes us a few weeks to get it up and running and moving smoothly. A new facility would certainly help alleviate all of that without having all of these different schools.
Another concern I have is for handicapped students. In the next 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to have a lot more handicapped students in our student population. And as you well know, if you've been in high school and junior high school, there's got to be 20 levels where people have to go up and down stairs. And for handicapped people, that's impossible. Last year, I was here during a fire drill, and one student had to have 2 adults help him up and down the stairs. And I stood there and watched that operation, and I thought, good Lord, if this building were on fire or this child was in danger, we'd have a lot of people in trouble.
Safety was another thing, especially from the elementary tours, the number of modular classrooms that we have in the district. My mom being a former teacher in the district and having taught in one of the modulars and having a niece and nephew in the schools who have been in the modulars, I think this day and age, I think the modulars really create a safety issue of them not being secure space that's part of the building being separate space that really isn't secure. I mean, the door's locked, but the kids that need to go to the restroom are given a pass and go to the restroom on their own with a key. So I don't think that the modulars are a very safe and secure solution, especially for elementary age students.
In the buildings that we have gone to as a committee and looked at, it's unbelievable how secure their buildings are compared to our high school and junior high school especially. I had the opportunity to visit several schools. One especially was over at Milton Union. They have a new building. Their superintendent took us around and showed us the many new features that they didn't have in their old buildings, such as ours. Hallway traffic was much better than ours. We have some real problems in our junior high and our high school buildings with traffic in times of class changes. It was just very impressive that their day just moved along normally, where we have a lot of problems in the hallways. We can eliminate that with the new building.
I've had the opportunity to visit other schools in other areas with new facilities, and has really come home to see how limited we are in our building compared to what some of the other schools are able to do because of their facilities that are designed for better technology, better collaborative work within the classroom.
Some of the areas that also I was impressed with some of the school buildings is I think they'll save money in operations. For example, in West Milton, they collected the rainwater to use in the restrooms. And it didn't take up much space, and it did save it. They thought it would save them $5,000 to $6,000 a year, and it cost very little to put that into the program. Some other areas that were impressive was the fact that they shaped the ceilings in their classrooms to compensate for the sun and that type of thing, and saving energy. We don't know how much energy it will save in dollars and cents as compared to what we spend today, but we do know it's going to help, and it's going to help the kids in the classroom with education.
Part of the facility planning process, there were a lot of school tours to look at buildings elsewhere in the county, and also some of the newer buildings outside of our county. And I think just the natural light and the just the overall layout of the space of a modern school versus older buildings certainly was an eye-opener. The space is certainly allows more collaboration and just overall storage, things like that. And a newer building seems to work a lot better, and was certainly impressed by what some of the neighboring districts have been able to accomplish through their building programs.
One of the things also that I noticed about West Milton was the fact that though their building is K through 12, the first graders never rubbed elbows with the 8th graders or the high school kids. And if we go pre-K through 8 in one building, we'll have an opportunity to eliminate the primary kids associating with the upper level kids. Also, another feature that I'm impressed with as a teacher is it allows all of our first grade teachers to be together, all of our second grade teachers to be together, and so on right down the line. This enhances the fact that parents can move from one teacher to the next rather than going from south to north or north to south and then to east and then to the junior high. We eliminate that, and it allows people to become much more familiar with the school as their child progresses through the grade.
With the pre-K-8 building, I really like the idea of combining everyone on one campus as far as the efficiencies of doing that. Busing, cafeterias, just general overlap of space and services. That really helped me to feel that the pre-K-8 concept would be the best for the district, for the elementaries, as a way to consolidate that space in one location.
My favorite thing about our new school design that we are planning, a pre-K-8 building where all of the students can be in one place. There are so many possibilities for our children. We work very hard to reach our parents and to connect with families, and it's hard when they're only with us for a couple years and then move to a new school. So for these reasons and many others, I do encourage all of you to really consider how important it is for the children of Urbana City Schools to have the same opportunity as others with new facilities.
I think the concept of maintaining tradition of being on the hill, having the high school on the hill, I think that's really important. As an alum, to see that, see this site continue to be used in the future for the high school and maintaining the tradition of having the castle on the hill, but also being the Urbana Hill Climbers and being on the hill. So I think reusing the high school site I think is really the most appropriate solution going forward, and I think it really maintains a great sense of tradition while allowing us to move forward with newer facilities.